Are there any brave souls who would like to share their point of view statement? Yes, at the back.
I think Kyle needs a way to see his wallet while being able to carry 15 cards of $200, and it's possibly a chip because he fears losing his wallet.
Wait up. So needs a way to
thin his wallet.
To thin
his
okay.
wallet while being able to carry 15 cards and $200
okay.
cash with a chip because he fears losing his wallet.
Got it.
If it's got lost, so
right.
he just starts ringing a bell.
So many valuables in there. Wow, that's a really great need, and you've got very specific about the needs here, which I really like. So a couple of things. What else do we know about? Was it Carl, did you say?
Yes, Carl.
What do we know about Carl? Like, can we embellish his description a little bit there? What kind of a guy is he? His personality, his needs, his lifestyle. So think about what you can build in there. And his feeling, like, is he worried about this? What is something emotional state, if you can build that in as well. Now the chip is a solution, and remember one of the rules was there should be no solution in the need. So try and take that bit out of there, because he doesn't necessarily need a chip, he needs a way to locate it if stolen or like if lost. So let's try and take the solution out of the point of view statement. It's very hard to brainstorm around a point of view statement if there's already a solution in it. But that's really great. Does anyone else have a point of view statement to share? Yeah?
Sure. So Brad wants a way to carry his credit cards, IDs, cash, and change. But all his daily purchases are made on a credit card. Because that's comprehensive.
Right. So, okay, so he needs a way to carry all of those items, but it sort of gets that he doesn't necessarily, so he thinks he needs something, but actually, like, his usage is not necessarily of all of those things.
Yeah, that's very much what we kind of got at
right.
from the first interview to the second one. We realized that my needs weren't actually what I thought they were. It was just habit.
Right, Okay, so you may even want to build that in there, like about his habits or beliefs. I'm just trying to think of how we can get at that in there.
So I added a comment at the end saying, he's also looking for, maybe he's looking for just a feature-rich solution.
Right, that can do all of this. Yeah, that's a tricky one. I mean, the great insight there is that he only tends to use, one aspect of that, which is something that would only have come out of the interview and not out of like a generic statement. So that's good. Was there one more at the back there? Do you want to? Yeah, go for it.
So I interviewed him, and he doesn't have any space where he can just show the bus pass and the ID to the bus when he gets there, and every time he has to remove them from the card and display them and put them back.
It's a very specific description.
No, because we go to Mac, so we always have to.
Got it.
Get it out, show them.
So what's the let's try and build in some like adjectives here. So a transparent, convenient, a rapid fire. Like, is speed the key aspect that was important there, or access? Because that becomes your design directive for the solution. So you really want to build in needs a more insert. What kind of way to do something? So have a think about building that in. And maybe it's because it's embarrassing holding up a line of people while hunting in your wallet. So try and build, again, embarrassing. Let's try and get some emotional states built in there, because then you really feel empathy. You should really feel like inspired and empathic about the description. But those are really great starts. And have you noticed all the needs were completely different here? So one thing here, which is the wallet, and yet all of us have such very different needs that have come out of this interview, which is so awesome. Okay, so just take 1 minute thinking about some of the feedback I've just given and just fine-tuning your POV. Try and flesh out those user descriptions. And then we're going to move into ideation. So just take 1 minute now to revise and try and build in an emotional state, some adjectives in there. So once we've crystallized our point of view statement, and like I said, I think it's the hardest part actually is coming up with the point of view statement. we then move on to brainstorming. And so there's a couple of rules now. We've probably learned we like rules in this whole process. So brainstorming, our idea here is to be non-judgmental. We're trying to develop as many ideas as possible. So we're going for quantity rather than quality necessarily. Being unconstrained, and so this doesn't have to be technically feasible, the ideas that come out. We don't have to worry about justifying or explaining how we would build any of these ideas. It's just getting them out there. So wild and crazy ideas are welcome and accepted. And one idea at a time and headlining. So we just want to not go into too much detail here. We just want to get the basic idea down. Half-baked ideas are welcome, so not thinking things through too much. Now, okay, so brainstorming is usually done in a group, and interdisciplinary is ideal because you're getting multiple different perspectives along the way. Yeah, we'll do a quick brainstorm together just to get you in the hang of it, and then you can jump in and do this on your own. So let me just think. So actually, could you read out your point of view statement?
Sure.
Oh, wait.
Just to clarify, the thing on the right.
Yes, that's right. Uh-huh.
So my partner is a minimalist with a fear of losing things.
Yep.
He needs a way to carry identification,
Yep.
credit cards, and on rare occasions, cash.
Yep.
But he's concerned about losing things and doesn't like carrying extra stuff around.
Great. Okay. I've just turned that into a how might we statement. So sometimes it's easy to flip your point of view statement into a how might we statement. So I've said, how might we help a minimalist safely carry the essentials? Okay? So we know that they're minimalists, and we're just looking at the essentials here, and there's an element of kind of safety baked in. Okay, so who's going to throw an idea at me? Clip to the belt, that's great, okay. Yeah,
Integrate with the phone.
integrate with the phone, uh-huh, yeah. In what way?
Integrated with a phone cover.
Phone cover, okay, yeah. Any other ideas? Minimalist, yeah. Tracker on the wallet. A tracker, yeah. So safely was important. Yeah.
Make an electronic,
That's
make
okay.
it digital card so he can have all of it in his cell phone.
Digital cards in the cell phone, yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
Okay, digital card.
Simple, traceable, change first.
Yeah, sure.
Old school.
Yeah, old school, yeah.
Change first.
Yeah,
One card that does everything.
okay.
Shop cards.
Okay, now I'm thinking of an analogy. What if he were a spy and had his secret information? How would he carry it?
Encryption.
Encryption, maybe? Yeah? Maybe on a necklace? Or in tinfoil? Yeah? New shoe, yeah? Uh-huh. Okay. All right, what if he was blind? Braille?
Different denominations of different categories, so you can feel
Great, yep. Yep. Voice control, like it. That's a good one for security as well. Yeah?
No, I don't have
or a personal robot that goes around with him and is voice activated. Yep.
Fingerprints, maybe?
Fingerprint, yep.
Maybe a vest for his guide dog, if he's got a guide dog.
Yeah, the guide dog has embedded in it the cards and things. Yeah, great. All right. Okay, so you get the idea. I've come up with a bunch of very different ideas there. So what I did was I threw in a couple of techniques that you're welcome to try. Often it's the very obvious ideas that come out first. You kind of want to get past them, and feel free to write them down to flush them out. Get past them and to the more out-of-the-box thinking. And to do that, we try and go for the crazy ideas that seem a little bit out there and wild. I added a constraint, so being blind, which again makes us think outside the box a little bit. Try for analogies. I mentioned, being a spy, but what are other situations where there's highly confidential top information that needs to be carried discreetly and minimalist? So try and think of analogies, because this helps to open up other ways of thinking. Okay, so now it's your turn. Again, we're not judging here, and drawings are welcome. We try and be as visual as possible. So you've got 5 boxes in front of you to write 5 different solutions in. I challenge you to get to 7. So just get them out there. Don't worry about whether they're half-baked, whether they're not perfect. And you're solving the problem of the point of view statement that you've articulated. So that problem statement is what you're designing for now. And I want at least one completely wild, gravity-defying idea. Okay, you have 5 minutes. Well done, guys. That is fantastic. Okay, so now that we've developed, come up with some ideas based on the user needs, can anyone guess what's next? Well, I guess you've got it on your sheet, actually. The next thing we're going to do is actually share those. This probably comes as no surprise. So they were half-baked for a reason. We don't want to overly invest in these until we kind of get some feedback on them. So take 2 minutes to share now, keeping in mind you're not justifying or selling your ideas at this stage. These are just props for you to learn more about not only the solution that you've suggested, but also about their experiences and their problems. So when you give someone a talking point or a prop, suddenly it evokes more stories. They might object for certain reasons, which gives you an opportunity to understand how you haven't understood their problem completely. So just take 2 minutes now, and then we'll switch for another 2 minutes to share your ideas and to get some initial reactions and feedback with the intention of learning more about their experiences and beliefs and problems. Okay? So 2 minutes, and then we'll switch. So did you learn anything different this time? Giving them a prop and these prototypes to talk about, did it help you to understand their needs a little bit better? More
Felt a little bit rushed, I would say.
Felt
This
rushed.
is something that you need a little bit more time to
Right.
really get some
Right.
good feedback on.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that. It's a rushed process. Again, 6 months into 2 hours is kind of intense. Okay. Well, hopefully you got a hint at least at where the excitement was around those solutions. Okay, now begins the fun part. So now that you've come up with a whole range of ideas, got feedback, hopefully there's one idea that you've got a lot more positive feedback around, and that you're personally excited about, your user is excited about. We're going to start actually prototyping now. So design thinking is inherently visual, and it's tactile. It's about putting something in the hands of your user, watching them play with it and experience it. And again, this is just one more step toward understanding their needs as well as their experience with that solution. So before we jump onto that, the idea with prototypes is that in a very cheap budget, in a really quick way, without burning too much resource or time, we can fail ideas and we can find out which ones work really quickly. So again, it's generative. We try and come up with a lot of different prototypes early on in the design process. And then if this is like a project timeline, we don't want to be launching our first prototypes down here with a big bang. We want to actually be coming up and testing a whole range of ideas in a really quick and cheap way before we get to investing. Once you start building a minimally viable prototype that's actually functional or is being launched, you're investing in it not only with your own money and time, but also you're getting emotionally attached. And so as rough and ready as we can keep these, the less attached we are to them, which is super important. Okay, so there's a whole range of different types of prototypes. Let's see if I included the list here. No, I didn't include the list. So there's, we have both objects as well as if you're building a service or redesigning an experience, you can have like a walkthrough role play of what that experience is. The idea is that we're helping your customer to visualize different alternatives and to compare between them, keeping it low resolution. And we're not trying to build in like a fully fledged, fully featured solution here, but trying to solve the most important aspect that your customer or your user needs. So I'm going to show you now a little clip to give you an example of how a prototype can help us learn about our user in a way that we might not otherwise be able to. Full screen. Okay.
So Amelia,
Oh,
thank you
sorry.
very much for being here for this usability test today. We're planning a brand new website for kids, and we'd like to help. For your help today, I've got a special present for you after we finish. You see it? You'll get it when we're done. And this shouldn't take more than about 30 minutes. If you need to take a break at any time, just let me know, and we can take a break, okay?
Okay.
Before we begin, I'd like to ask you a few questions. First, how often do you go online?
Every day.
Every day. Okay. And what websites do you go to?
Miss Junior,
And what's your favorite website?
PBS Kids.
Oh, so there's more than one website you like?
Yeah.
Does mom and daddy let you go online anytime you want?
Not anytime.
Oh, okay. So when do you get to go online?
If mommy says yes, I can. If she says no, I can't.
Oh, okay. This pen will be your mouse. Okay. Great. If you want to click on something, just tap on it with your pen. So what do you think about this website?
It is great.
It's great. What's great about it?
I like the word.
What do you think you can do from here?
I can do games, coloring pages, and videos.
Great. Okay, thank you. I want you to remember that you came here to find pages to color in. Okay? All right? So that's what I'd like you to do, is find some pages to color in. What would you do?
I could click on here.
Great. Oh, okay. Well, when you click on there, it takes you to a page like this. Is this what you expected?
Yes.
What do you think you can do from here?
I can click on the buttons.
And what would that do?
Take you to coloring pages.
Okay, what would you want to click on? Triceratops?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So, let's go to the kitty one, okay?
Okay, so it goes on for a while and she is super cute. It's a really great interviewee to have. But your user interviewer is also cute and has good characteristics, right? So, all right, there we go. So we're going to develop build a prototype now, and thinking about what made this effective was that it was something that Amelia could interact with, right? We gave her a scenario to walk through and talk through how they used it. So when you're building the prototype, think about how you can use it as a vehicle to test your hypothesis about this solution and why it will be effective. So you have at your disposal anything and everything on the table. Feel free to break things to, there's scissors, there's bags, there's wool, there's a whole lot of things there. The plyboard as well. But just before you do, just take 1 minute. I think on the next page of your handout, there's a place for you to just spend a moment consolidating your learnings and jotting down your final amazing mega idea that synthesizes all of your learnings throughout today's session. Now, you have the option of also thinking about, now that you've got the solution, what would be the channels to market? How might you make revenue, and what might your customer segment be based on this user and what you've discussed? So just take 2 minutes now putting those pieces together, and then we'll jump in and build. Okay. So I know we're running a little bit over, but I mean, I really feel like the diversity of solutions we've seen, there's only been a handful, is quite mind-blowing. And we started with this one solution and this one problem, and we kind of all looked at each other sideways like, have we really even thought about the wallet? And look at how many different needs and ideas can come out of that one solution. You know what, from whether you're a baby, you're just getting started, to if you're a big company, being in touch with your market is everything. And this is a process that you can use every step of the way. Has everyone heard of Business Model Canvas? So this is like a classic resource that you can just pick up and take. Yeah, wrapping up now. By Alex Osterwalder. If you just Google business model generation and business model canvas, there's a short video and you can learn how to use that as a resource. It's saying that we can iterate on our business model just as we iterate on our product. All right, so sorry we ran a bit over, guys, but thank you for being great sports, and feel free to take your intellectual property with you.
Before I leave,